lose tonight. Bradley takes their first. Played the best game they've played all year.
Definitely.
We're good? Okay, sorry. The heart, I don't know what just happened, but according to Terry, the hardest working man in Cleveland, Tennessee, as we're watching him here laid back in his seat while Terry was saying that.
Eating pizza. His goal is next to become the smartest man. The smartest man. That's right.
We're working there. Who is that? Who's that right now, Ron? The smartest man at Mix 1041.
Oh, at Mix 104, that's Dwayne.
Oh, there's no doubt. Oh, look at you sucking up. Hey, no good. Anyway, back to football. Ray County plays probably their best game of the year. They win 48-42. Cleveland just lost. You just heard it here on Mix 1041. Cleveland loses tonight to 3A. Undefeated Giles County. How's that for a game that you probably don't want to think about playing again?
Definitely not. I mean, I think it's a testament to just how good they are, though.
Absolutely. And then Upperman, Walker Valley was up 14-0. Upperman comes back and beats them 28-14.
14-0, up 14-0 at the beginning, and then 14-14 at the half, and pretty much from that second score that Walker Valley had, it was all Upperman. Yeah,
definitely so. So not a good night for the area. We've got the stats. We're going to talk some playoffs. Nothing tonight really, as far as those three games really had any playoff implications. But there were definitely some items that happened tonight with playoff implications, as far as especially for Cleveland with Bearden and Farragut tonight. We're going to get into that in a couple of minutes. But right now we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and give you the score. Give us a call, 614-6499. This is Hardee's Friday Night Blitz.
Pretend you're holding Hardee's new hand-breaded chicken.
Wholesale Supply Group, you've heard the name for years. The experts trust them, and you should too. Whether you're building, remodeling, or just maintaining your home, Wholesale Supply Group has all the plumbing, electrical, and HVAC products you need to supply any project. With great brands like Delta, Kohler, Rinnai, Mansfield, Progress Lighting, Square D, GE, and Milwaukee, Wholesale Supply has everything you need. Check out the locations in Cleveland, Chattanooga, Athens, Dayton, Madisonville, Dalton, and Chatsworth. Online, wholesalesupply.us. And remember, Wholesale Supply is open to the public.
3 Mountain View Nissan locations mean one giant selection. And with over 800 new Nissan vehicles to choose from, we've got something the whole family will love. Like no payments for 90 days and 0% financing on select Nissan models. That's right, 0 payments and 0% financing on some of our best-selling Nissan models. So come shop Mountain View Nissan in Chattanooga, Dalton, and the all-new Cleveland, home of the exclusive lifetime warranty.
I am Cleveland Ford. I am Cleveland.
I am Cleveland Ford.
I am Cleveland.
I am Cleveland Ford.
I am Cleveland.
I am Cleveland Ford.
I am Cleveland.
I am Cleveland Ford.
I am Cleveland.
I am Cleveland Ford.
I am Cleveland.
I am Cleveland Ford.
I am Doug Beerthaler, General Manager of Cleveland Ford. And together,
we are Cleveland Ford.
Those backwards, so sorry, right, taking a note there. Upperman defeats Walker Valley tonight 28-14. McMinn County over Loudon tonight 31-21. Don't have a final on it yet, but Ottawa and Brainerd were in overtime. Polk County with another win tonight, win 42-7 over Lookout Valley. Rockwood shuts out McMinn Central tonight 43-0. Whitwell over Copper Basin 38-20. Red Bank defeats East Hamilton tonight 21-20. Sweetwater 42-14 over Tellico Plains. Here's a big one that we'll get into here in just a second. Farragut loses tonight to Fulton 33-29. Hardin Valley beat William Blount tonight. I've got all these scores wrong, Andy. Hardin Valley 22, William Blount 15.
And I believe that was Hardin Valley's first win of the year.
Hardin Valley's first win of the year. They come to Cleveland next week in a pretty important game for Cleveland. Soddy Daisy 36, Hickson 28. Bearden with the win tonight over Anderson County 15-12. Maryville 35, Knox West 7 in the battle of two of the Titans up in the Knoxville area. Chattanooga Central 15, East Ridge 18, and Dobbins Bennett tonight beat Oak Ridge 14-10. So some interesting scores tonight. Let's start out with the Bradley Ray County game. Again, it's one of those games, Andy. Bradley just mistakes just killed. I mean, first of all, first play of the game is it's a Davis kid, right? That's his last name. Yeah. The Davis kid goes about 65 yards for a touchdown, untouched on the first play of the game, and then basically Bradley goes. They run probably 5 or 6 plays, have to punt, and then about 4 plays later, Ray County's up 14-0.
That kid's a workhorse. Finished the game with 284 yards rushing. Just a massive game for him. Really coming through when it was most needed. The offensive stats for Bradley Central tonight. A little different than what we're used to seeing. Jackson Wilson only had 98 yards rushing, had almost as many in passing. He had 71 yards in passes. Marcus Gorey had 96 yards receiving. Defensively, had a lot of tackles. J.D. Kirkpatrick, former Lake Forest Middle School Bruin, son of Adam Kirkpatrick, one of my teachers at Lake Forest. He led the way with 9 tackles. Rodney Williams had 8. Gage Anderson and Tito Williams each had 6. Knox Watson with 4, and LP Landon Price finished with 2.
Yeah, and it was so Ray County tonight again. They run that offense that not a lot of people see. You see it one time per year usually, and it's when you play them, and it's a tough. You're running the belly, you're running the sweep. It's an offense that's hard. It's hard to follow, and it takes discipline to defend it.
Bradley really had some missed opportunities. They had the fumble tight end. Howard, fumbled the ball, which should have been a score. They also had it, I think, on the 1-yard line at one time, and ended up not converting on that. Just some missed opportunities that I know they wish they had those chances back, because they definitely should have converted on those two. It was really a tale of two halves for Bradley Central. First half did not look good at all. Second half, there was Ray County had 35 at the half, right?
Yeah, it was 35-23 at the half, I think is what it was.
So, they basically gave up 2
35-30. 35-30 at the half.
So they gave up 2 touchdowns in the second half, which is a testament to those defenders that we just mentioned on those defensive stats. But, just not quite enough. And part of you wants to ask is, were they kind of peeking ahead?
Absolutely.
Or was it just simply, when I talked to Damon last Friday night, one of the things he said is it's going to be a hard-fought game, which that going in and playing Ray County, it's always going to be, regardless of the records on either side, it's going to be a hard-fought ball game.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and the thing of it was, is at the end of the half, Ray County, again, we talked about it before we went on the air, Ray County kind of made a bonehead coaching decision and decided, with a minute left, they were basically up 2 touchdowns, right. And they decided to drop the quarterback back into their end zone, safety, and then basically Bradley gets the ball, they go down and score, and and make it a 5-point game at that point. So at that point, at the end of the first half, Bradley had the momentum. They came out, started the second half, went down to score, took the lead. So you thought at that point that okay, they've got the lead here, they're going to kind of run with it. But Ray County is they're such a disciplined team. They don't beat themselves. We talk a lot about like that with Maryville. Not that I'm comparing Ray County to Maryville, but Ray County in that way, they don't beat themselves. They make you come out and tackle them. They make you come out and beat them. And
right.
And again, at the end of the day, Bradley made some mistakes. They had some very costly penalties tonight that just really, and not penalties when you're trying to make plays. They were penalties, unsportsmanlike conduct and things like that. That just kill your momentum and kill the game.
Ray County is highly disciplined. They do those little things, fundamentally strong, that when you do those those oftentimes turn to wins. I mean, just doing the little things.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, Ray County just, they don't do anything fancy. They just, again, that you, like we were saying, they follow the guard wherever 62 went, and he had that big club on his hand too. Wherever 62 went is where the ball was going, and you gotta against that type of offense. You literally, it's all about you're playing. You beat your man to try to tackle somebody, and if you don't beat your man, then you're going to give up a bunch of yards.
We're both of McCleary had 2 interceptions on the night. Were both those interceptions in the second half?
No, I think one of them was in early in the first half. I think that's right. I'm trying to remember. You would think I would know that since I was there. The second one was at the end of the game.
Right.
I mean, it was he was throwing it up. He threw it up to about midfield, and they intercepted it with like a minute 5 left or something like that. So and the other one was in the first half because it was a throw that there was only a Ray County defender there. So either McCleary threw to the wrong route or the wide receiver ran the wrong route. I don't know which one that was, but it was a play where the ball wasn't close to where the receiver was.
Yeah, and it was a great crowd tonight, I think, wasn't it?
It was a pretty good crowd. Ray County traveled well, and then the Bradley side was pretty full as well. So, but again, that game, again, Bradley wanted to have an undefeated season and all that. Get that, but that game, in the grand scheme of things, they need to wash that game out. They need to, that game was over when the clock went to 0. They need to turn their focus towards Maryville right now.
Right. Aiden McCleary finished the game 268 yards passing, had two INTs. On the night, as far as Aiden's rushing yards, he had 96 yards in rushing. He's a dual threat type quarterback. I feel like it's kind of uncharacteristic to see 2 picks from him in a game.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't remember the last time that happened, but seemed to be a little off tonight offensively.
Yeah. They just didn't seem to, offensively, defense. They didn't seem to have rhythm tonight, which kind of gives, takes you to the fact of were they kind of looking past this game? Again, I don't think they were, but again, it's hard not to be peeking at the schedule, going, "Hey, I've got Maryville next week for the region championship." It's kind of hard not to do that,
right? And it makes you like, gosh, I wish we had our bye week right before Maryville.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, instead of playing a 5A powerhouse in Ray County.
Yeah.
So again. A great game to watch. I mean, it was a super fun game to watch tonight. So it was very, very entertaining. Two really good teams and all that. So good game to watch. But again, game at the end of the day, it's Bradley's first loss, but means nothing. It's now it's preparing for Maryville, and I would guess that Damon has already got this game behind him, and he's already focused on Maryville. Probably, I would guess he's probably watching film right now.
Right, and as a coach and thinking as a player, I'm not so sure that. I'm kind of glad going in at least to have a loss under our belt, so that we got that out of our system. Mm-hmm. We don't have to worry about the perfect season.
No pressure.
Kind of thing, no pressure. Mm-hmm. You just got to go and you got to play a near perfect game against a very, very well disciplined Maryville team.
Absolutely. So yeah, and again, that's what you're looking for. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and talk. We'll talk playoffs in 6A. We'll talk a little playoffs in 5A, and we'll and I think the playoff picture in 6A is it's definitely clearing. It's clearing up, and so we'll see. But it's definitely going to be an interesting week next week. So for Cleveland, it's going to be win or go home. But we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back and talk about that. This is Hardy's Friday Night Blitz. If you want to give us a call, 614-6499.
We are being defined by algorithms that think they know what you like and who you are. But is their digital version of you really you? The all-new Infiniti QX55. Introduce yourself.
Wholesale Supply Group, you've heard the name for years. The experts trust them, and you should too. Whether you're building, remodeling, or just maintaining your home, Wholesale Supply Group has all the plumbing, electrical, and HVAC products you need to supply any project. With great brands like Delta, Kohler, Rinnai, Mansfield, Progress Lighting, Square D, GE, and Milwaukee, Wholesale Supply has everything you need. Check out the locations in Cleveland, Chattanooga, Athens, Dayton, Madisonville, Dalton, and Chatsworth. Online, wholesalesupply.us. And remember, Wholesale Supply is open to the public.
At Taziki's in Cleveland, located in the Target Shopping Center. Order online at tazikis.com.
Extra ketchup, but no pickles.
Actually, pickles.
1 vanilla Coke. And a sweet tea.
Hot chocolate.
Your largest coffee.
I'm gonna need like
10 Egg McMuffins, please.
1 hamburger Happy Meal.
Make that 2.
Make that 3.
No pickles! A Sprite, and what else?
Oh, and one more thing. 10-piece McNuggets, barbecue sauce.
You've been loyal. We want to reward that. Introducing My McDonald's Rewards. Now every order earns points redeemable for free McDonald's.
Need a metal roof for your home or business? Come see us at Best Buy Metals, a leading manufacturer of metal roofing products. Looking for great service? Check. Want to choose from a wide variety of metal roofing products? Check. How about complimentary takeoffs and free estimates for commercial and residential projects? Check and check. From small orders to semi-loads, we've got you covered. Literally. Best Buy Metals, quality roofing that lasts a lifetime. Come see us today.
Walker Valley tonight, 28-14. So not a good night for the area. We'll go ahead and take this caller. Caller, you're on the Blitz.
Oh boy, what a bad night for Bradley County teams.
It was not a good night for Bradley County.
Yeah, they got to play my Maryville Red Rebels next week. I hope they're up for it.
the boogeyman's going to be ready for them.
Yeah, I didn't go to the boogeyman tonight. I went to his arch enemy called Alcoa, and they were slaughtering Tyner 42-0 with 8 minutes left in the game.
That's Alcoa is a good football team, and Tyner is not a good football, or not as good of a football team. So yeah, that was kind of expected, I think.
How did Polk County do?
Great. They won tonight. What was that score?
42-7.
42-7. So I think that's probably their best showing this season so far.
Wow. Well, you guys have a good night. I'll see you. Hey, what about Tennessee? Didn't they get gypped on that Mississippi game?
Well, that's I think that. Well, I'm not one to blame officiating. But I'm not so sure about the placement of that ball that came into question in that last play, and I really think it would have been a different outcome if Hendon Hooker hadn't went out. I'm not a big fan of Milton. Just don't think he's the better option. I'm not so sure if I was the coach if I would have just put in Bailey. I mean, and you're within 20 yards. He's a true passer, plays in the pocket. You don't have to worry about him running out of the field of play. Yes, I mean you got to go for the end zone. I don't understand that play at all.
Well, and if Milton actually does throw the ball, he probably throws it out of the end zone anyway.
Yeah, he hits the Tennessee River easily.
Over the end of the stadium.
But I thought it was a great game. I really feel like that's one that got away. I really felt like going in that was going to be Heupel's first signature win against a really good ranked SEC team.
And Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, exactly. But tomorrow we got Alabama and
99-0 balls.
I wonder what Patrick Key thinks the score is going to be on that one.
He better pick Tennessee.
Well, gentlemen, you have a good night. I'm going to go and get here to bed and live to see another one.
Me too. That's I'm ready to go to bed myself.
Have a good one.
So We hadn't talked about that yet. What section were you sitting in? There's a rumor out there that you may have thrown the first water bottle.
Well, I was actually sitting in my recliner. I didn't make that game, but my best friend Robbie Winters was at that game.
Where was he sitting?
He was 40-yard line under the. Word on the street is that his mom, the mysterious mustard bottle that made its way.
Yep.
This is what I've been told.
Does he have an arm? Is his arm good enough to get it to the field from where he's?
Robbo's had a couple shoulder surgeries from his baseball playing days, but he can still throw some good BP.
So there you go. So it's right now we're still undecided.
Now you went to the game, right?
I was.
Okay. Now I've got his version. Tell me your version of how everything went, like the atmosphere and everything there toward the end.
The atmosphere was great. So I was already gone by the time all the bottles started hitting started hitting it. So I can't be blamed for it. I have been blamed a couple of times, but the atmosphere up there was one of the best atmospheres that I've experienced. I've been to a lot of games, and so they hit 118 decibels a couple of times, and so the atmosphere was it was crazy. It felt like a team that you were excited about, and a team that that has the opportunity to win. So it was great to see that and great to be a part of it.
Robbie told me that the atmosphere was reminiscent of the late 90s, early 2000s, just that type of atmosphere. So it was good to hear that. The one thing that was really striking to me, all the trash that was thrown on the field and all the beer and all that stuff, the beer bottles that were thrown out, just crazy. And I thought that what really set the tone was the week before a tweet was sent out by Tennessee AD about and why, and we talked about this Monday night on my show, but why he felt the importance to tweet out that, hey, I understand that everybody's frustrated and upset that you're having to wait in these long lines for beer, but we're going to have multiple extra points of entry to purchase beer. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't understand why we feel like, as an AD of a major Power 5 university, like, we have to tweet that out. Like, I don't understand that.
Oh, agree. 100% agree.
And then we're shocked at what happens the following Saturday.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it was, again, we got up there, it was a night game, so there was definitely, alcohol was definitely a factor in everything that happened.
Hot and toddies.
No, there's no doubt about that. So let's get back to high school football here and talk playoffs. So I'm not going to say 100%, but based on so what I read, I said this week I would be ready to talk about what the tiebreaker was.
Right.
So the tiebreaker, according to the TSSAA website, is number of wins that you have. So if you're tied, so if everybody's 2-3, it goes down to number of wins that you have. For the whole season, so district and region and non-region. So based off of that, Farragut's loss, I think, puts Cleveland in the playoffs. That's the way I read it and the way I understand it. That puts Cleveland in the playoffs. So it's going to be the winner of the Maryville Bradley game is going to finish 1-2. And then, again, depending on what happens. So let me back up. That puts Cleveland in the playoffs if they win Friday night. I mean, again, it's against Hardin Valley. It should be a win for them. They obviously have to win. But I think Cleveland wins and they're in.
Right. Big night, though. Senior night at Cleveland.
Absolutely.
So it's a must-win. We get in the playoffs if you win.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't, you go home.
That's exactly right. So huge night for those seniors. It's senior night, and again, it basically you're playing to get in the playoffs. So right now in the region, Bearden is 2-2, and Bearden and Farragut play each other. So if Bearden wins, Farragut is 1-4, Bearden's 3-2, and Cleveland ends up. Again, I'm assuming Cleveland wins in this scenario. Cleveland ends up at 2-3, so Cleveland is the 4 seed.
Okay.
If Farragut beats Bearden, then that puts and again, assuming Cleveland wins, that puts all three of them at 2-3.
Oh.
And in that scenario, Cleveland actually becomes the 3 seed because the first tiebreaker is number of wins. So in that scenario, Cleveland is the 3 seed. So I think, again, this is Greg talking and nothing official, but based off of that, I think Cleveland either way is in the playoffs, and it just depends on, if, again, they're still Bearden fans because they want to be the 3 seed.
Where's that game at, the Farragut Bearden?
That's a good question.
I think it's at Farragut, but
I think you're right. When we go to break, I'll look that up. So let's talk about the other side of that bracket, which is a mess. And not really a mess, just it's completely undecided. So Science Hill is 4-0 in the district. Jeff County is 3-1. Dobbins Bennett is 3-1, and West Ridge, who we still haven't heard of, is 2-2. So the thing that I can tell you is all 4 of those teams are in the playoffs. Now, Science Hill plays Dobbins Bennett next week.
Ooh.
Jeff County plays West Ridge next week. So we have, at this point, we have no earthly idea. It's at Farragut. Thank you, Ron. The smartest man in the country and the hardest working.
Steve Hartline, you need to give Ryan Felton a raise. Not only the smartest man, but what was the other one?
The hardest
working man. His next goal is he's going for the what are we going to go for next, Ron?
Retirement.
Oh, you're too young to retire. Most handsome. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah. So basically on the other side, and we got a caller we'll take here in just a second. So on the other side of this, we have no idea if Cleveland finishes 3 or 4 where they're going to go. So there's still a lot to be determined. But right now for Cleveland, again, Bradley's in. Bradley's going to be the 1 or the 2 seed. So, again, they're at Maryville next week, so that's going to depend on that. So I think Cleveland's in, and it's just if they finish 3 or 4, we don't know if they're going to play Science Hill, Jeff County, or Dobbins Bennett, or quite honestly, and again, I'm not going back to the records. I'm not going to go that far tonight. West Ridge could actually jump up to the 2 seed if Science Hill beats DB and they beat Jeff County. Then West Ridge jumps to the 2 seed, I think. So still lots of football. Yeah, still lots of football. Week 10 matters. Let's just say that. So let's take this caller. Caller, you're on the Blitz.
What's going on, man? How about that big red train, man? Getting another win out here.
Woo, woo! The big red train in full effect.
Well, that's good. That's good for them. They've passed 2 years, they've 19 and 20. They didn't have a win at all, and they have a good opportunity of finishing out the season next week with Bledsoe County and being a 5-5 team and going to the playoffs. I mean, that's a pretty good pretty good difference from what it was for the past 2 years with them. So
yeah, most definitely.
Hats off them. Congratulations on that. I've been hearing about, of course, I heard that, Bradley got beat, by Ray County.
Yep.
They run that type of kind of a wing T type, veer offense up there, and it's you got to assignment football. Sometimes that's easy, sometimes it's not. But people up there, a lot of people I know from Maryville and stuff, they're like, oh, they can't beat Ray County, they can't beat us. Well, our invitation to Bradley, I welcome them to prove them wrong next Friday night when they go up there to Maryville. I mean, I know it's going to be hard, but it ain't impossible. So
yeah, any given Friday. I mean, that's the great thing about sports is you just you show up and you compete and you can come out on top.
Right. I mean, you want to have an undefeated season. That's great, but still, you got 2 undefeated teams in the region right there playing for the region championship, playing for home field advantage throughout the playoffs. It's on a big stage, and who knows? You like people say, well, it's against Maryville. Well, yeah, but I mean, at the same time, there's going to have to come a time where the big bad boogeyman has to be taken down. What an opportunity Friday night would be for that to happen.
Yeah, and everybody knows. I mean, again, I don't think anybody is in denial that Bradley is going to have to go up there and play a near perfect game, and Maryville's going to have to make mistakes for Bradley to pull the upset. I mean, I think everybody knows that. So it's just a matter, can they go up and execute that plan?
I'm sure they can. I mean, I know a perfect example of what this reminds me of. It reminds me of a playoff game years ago. Back when I was in high school, I went to school out in Texas, and we was playing up against
that's real football right there.
Right, first round of the playoffs up in the Dallas area. We had to go to Amon Carter Stadium in Fort Worth and play against the fourth-ranked Arlington Lamar Vikings. And this is the first time we was in the playoffs in 38 years. It's been since like 1961. This is like 1998 when this happened. Well, we went up there, and I mean nobody picked us to win that ball game. At halftime, we were up, kid you not, 21-0 on at halftime. Well, the ball game, final score ended up being 27-24 us, and we took that season, 38 years right there. And we took that dadlum season all the way to the state, quarterfinals. We got beat by Midland Lee in the state quarterfinals, and Midland Lee went on to win the state title that year, and of course won the next 3 state titles after that. But from that point onward, right there, we sit there and made 38 years of a playoff drought, made that into history, and. My high school alma mater has been in the top 10 in the state out there in Texas ever since.
Wow.
That's saying a lot, especially coming from Texas.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't beat nobody. We was kind of like how Polk County had been. Everybody was beating them, scheduling us for homecoming.
Yeah.
Now they're beating teams like Midland Lee, Odessa Permian, South Lake Carroll. South Lake Carroll was the #1 team in the United States a couple of years ago. They came down to Bulldog Stadium in Coppers Cove, Texas. That's where I went to high school at, by the way. They came down to Bulldog Stadium in Coppers Cove, Texas, and got their butts handed to them at about a score of 38-14.
A lot of talent came out of those schools.
Right, and it's just like that, out there at Coppers Cove High School, they didn't have, the talent like, Midland Lee or Odessa Permian. But what they did have was some talent and heart. And then eventually later on, years later, they've got, a whole lot of talent. Like, for example, Josh Boyce, which played for the New England Patriots. We had RG3 graduate from there, Heisman Trophy winner RG3. Peanut Charles Tillman, who played for the Bears and the Panthers. He's retired now.
Charles Tillman.
All those guys. Matter of fact, I played with Charles Tillman. I was a senior. He was a freshman. We played together. So all those guys right there came out of that school, and it was we didn't have big we didn't know how far. We knew Charles Tillman was going to go somewhere, but we didn't know that.
Right.
But, now we know, and it's all because of heart and determination. And of course, that's what I'm giving to Brady right there. Heart and determination. It's you can have and of course Maryville, they have talent, but they don't have talent like a Murfreesboro, Oakland. But sometimes in the playoffs of the past couple of years, they've beaten Murfreesboro, Oakland to get to the state championship game. So it's all about heart and determination, and that's a good thing about high school football. The teamwork, working together, and the heart and determination can sit there and beat all that talent when that talent don't sit there and work together itself.
No doubt.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, man, as always, thanks for calling, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, thanks, sir.
Thank you.
So let's talk about Region 3 and 2A real quick. He brought it up. I had meant to bring that up, and then we'll get back to we'll take a quick break and get back to 5A. So next Friday night, like he said, Polk County plays Bledsoe County. The winner of that game is the number 4 seed. So the winner of that game is the 4 seed, and they're going to travel to Trousdale County, who is 8-0. So that it's a tough road, but that's a good one. But the big one in that one is Meigs County and Marion County both undefeated, both 4-0 in the region, and Meigs County's 8-0, 9-0 after tonight, I assume, and Marion County again, I assume, wins tonight, so they're 8-0. So both those teams undefeated and basically playing for a region championship next week.
Where's that going to be at?
Why you always ask those questions? I don't know.
That's how I got to base that pick.
The smartest man in America is going to look that up for us.
Yeah, Ryan, tell us what that answer is.
So while he's looking that up for us, let's talk 5A football.
5A football.
So the two things that we know. Actually, we know everything on our side of the region. So Ray County is the number 1 seed. McMinn County is the number 2 seed. Walker Valley is the 3 seed, and Ottawa is the 4 seed. So we know that because basically their district is done.
Right.
So that's all done. On the other side of that, we know that Powell, with the number 1 player in the country, Walter Nolan, saw him last Saturday. He's a large human. He was at the Tennessee game. He's a large human. He was easy to pick out from all the other recruits that were there.
Yep. Saw an interview with his dad. Dad was really, really impressed with the atmosphere and everything he saw last week. So.
Yeah. So you probably didn't see it, but Powell played last night.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they played last night, and one of Walter Nolan's one of the players on offense got hurt.
Oh.
Walter walks out, one of the linemen walks out to his player that's hurt, picks him up, and just carries him back to the sidelines.
Like a little baby.
That's pretty much what it looked like. So he's also a strong human.
So what is he, like 6'5", 6'6"?
He's like 6'13" and weighs like 832 pounds.
It's like Goliath.
No, he's probably 6'4", 6'5". I would guess 310, 315, and I mean, and about 200 pounds of chest.
Tennessee's still in his top 3, right?
They are. So he's committed right now. I can't remember who to. Who did he commit to?
Come on,
smartest man in America. Look that up.
What's his name?
Walter Nolan. So he's committed, but I don't think he's fully committed. I mean, he came to Knoxville for a reason. We're hoping.
Right.
I mean, that's probably more hope than anything else.
I mean, who wouldn't want to play in that atmosphere?
Right. Yeah. Who wouldn't want to have water bottles and mustard bottles thrown at you? No. So Powell is the number 1 seed. Carnes is the 2 seed, and then Campbell County and Oak Ridge play each other. Basically for the 3 and 4 seed. I think they're both in the playoffs, but they play each other to see who who finishes 3rd and 4th. So one of those will travel to Ray County, one will travel to McMinn County. So what that means is Ottawa travels to Powell, and Walker Valley is going to travel to Carnes. So
not too bad of a draw.
It's not a bad draw. Carnes is a good football team, but Walker Valley is not. They're not trending in the right direction right now.
Right.
And they need to come out this coming. I'm not even. I'll have to look at. I'll have to look up who they. I didn't even look up who they played because it didn't matter as far as the playoffs go. But they need a win this week to give them some momentum going into the playoffs.
Possibly a pregame speech from Ryan Felton. He's also the world's best pregame speech giver I've been to.
World's best motivating speaker. Oh, he's not committed. So he's deciding after the UT Georgia game. Who's he deciding between?
I think it's them and the Aggies. I know are 2 of the ones.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It was down to. I actually thought he was committed to Texas A&M at one point. Maybe he wasn't.
He's officially deciding after UT.
Gotcha. So you're telling me there's a chance?
I don't. Well, I would. I mean, I don't even go there. That's just frustrating. Like
number 1 in the country, or number 2 in the country, number 1 defensive.
Right. There you go. Depending on which, he's number 1 in 247 Sports. I think has him number 1, or they did. So let's take a quick break, and we'll come back and wrap this thing up. It's getting late. I'm getting sleepy. That coffee's. I thought the coffee would keep me awake, but it's starting to.
Steve's going cheap. It's decaffeinated.
No, I almost put decaf in, but I put about 8 packets of sugar in there, so I should be good. But who knows? So we're going to take a quick break. This is Hardy's Friday Night Blitz.
Close your eyes.
But not if
I told my son to find me the nicest place to live in Cleveland. He said, Dad, there's only one place, and that's Garden Plaza. And I moved into the patio home. Everybody knows your name from day one, and there's something to do all day long if you want to participate in it. You cannot possibly be bored at Garden Plaza. It is just great, and their food is outstanding. It's out of this world. I'm so happy I'm here. Garden Plaza is it for me.
This is John Davis, the trade-in man for Kia Cleveland on South Lee Highway. You probably heard the news. Most dealers don't have any inventory, but at Kia Cleveland, we do. In fact, we've got even more new Kias than I'm comfortable with, so we're rolling them out of here, like 2020 Kia Rios starting at $13,900. That's right, brand new cars starting at $13,900. Come see me, John Davis, the trade-in man, at Kia Cleveland on South Lee Highway in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee, where car buying is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
KiaofCleveland.com. The Vic Vascular team is leading the way in peripheral vascular care in our region.
Feeling of pain in your legs, loss of sensation in your feet or toes,
open sores that won't heal,
weakness when walking.
Do you have flow problems?
These are the first signs of peripheral artery disease, PAD.
PAD affects 1 in 5 Americans, and when untreated, can result in the loss of a limb.
If you or one of your loved ones are experiencing the signs of PAD, be evaluated.
We are Vascular Institute of Chattanooga. We can help.
You need money overnight? Check into cash. Your time is tight. .com. Bank accounts too low? Check into cash. So where do you go? .com. Do it online in a record time. It's the easy way to get money next day. Do a quick click from home at checkintocash.com. You can be sure it's secure from our bank straight to yours. Do a quick click from home at checkintocash.com. Boom, boom, ba-doom.
All right, Mr. Jenkins, as we wrap this thing up, let's talk about what we got going next week. Walker Valley and Howard. Not a lot to talk about there.
No, I'm going Walker Valley on that one.
Probably a pretty safe bet. How about Cleveland hosting Hardin Valley on senior night? You thinking? You scratching your head?
No,
you thinking? Are you sure?
I'm positive.
You calling the upset?
I'm going Cleveland on that one. I'm not going. No, Cleveland all the way on that one.
You sure?
Positive.
Is it because Cleveland has a couple of Lake Forest guys?
They've got one that I know of, but he's hurt.
He's hurt. He's out till the second round of the playoffs.
I feel like Hardin Valley is on senior night for a reason.
That I would guess that probably has something to do with it.
I'm going to go with Cleveland on that one.
Yeah, and then the big one, Bradley Central travels to the Boogeyman. What do you think about that?
Well, I think unlike the Cleveland panel a few weeks ago, I'm gonna go with what my brain says, and it says that Maryville should win that ball game. Just by the books, that's who should win. Now, if Bradley Central goes up there and plays a perfect game and ends up with a W in that, then I will be ecstatic. I'll be beyond happy. Prove me wrong. I'll be glad.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's one you're glad to be wrong on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I think for Bradley to win that game, I mean, I think it's going to have to turn into the Jackson Wilson show. I mean, I think Jackson is going to have 200, 250 yards, and Bradley just eat clock because you don't want to go toe to toe with them because Maryville don't make mistakes.
No. And they're the thing is they're so deep. Mm-hmm. That you can't wear them down. Unlike I felt like Ray County got wore down tonight. Ray, had a lot of kids playing both sides of the ball, and they look gassed.
Yeah, definitely, and again, that's and that may be a good game for again, like you said. Now Bradley doesn't like you said earlier. Bradley doesn't have the pressure of an undefeated season, and now they can just relax and go up. But here's the thing: they're the underdog. There's nobody that expects them to win. So it's one of those games you can go up there and you throw the whole playbook up. You draw stuff in the sand, and you go up there and see what happens.
Right. I mean, you've got absolutely nothing to lose.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing to lose, and most of the time that's a good place to be in because again you can go up there and play free. You're not playing under pressure. Well, you're playing under pressure when you go to Maryville just because of the atmosphere and all of that. And you look over to the left I guess if you're on the visitor side, you're looking right, and you see state championship banners all the way down the.
Right,
all the way down the brick wall there at the school. So it's definitely pressure to see that, but but again, they Bradley has nothing to lose and everything to gain.
And Bradley's 8-1 for a reason.
Absolutely,
they have had a great season. Mm-hmm. They are a fundamentally strong football team. What I would like to see them tighten up a little bit on the penalties.
Yeah, and again, they need to get healthy.
Especially ones that can be avoided.
Yeah, they need to get healthy. They had a couple of kids. What's 42's last name? I can't think of his name. Anyway, he didn't play in the second half. They need to be healthy for next week. They're actually Channel 3 is actually showing the highlights of the Bradley Central Ray County game right now. So. Yeah, we were telling you how small it was. He's like 120. The Davis kid, the smartest man in the country, just saw the Davis kid from Ray County and saw what size he was. But man, the kid plays with heart. He definitely plays with heart. So, but again, a great not a great night for the area for our area as far as games. Everybody lost, but again, those games really didn't mean anything tonight. And again, Cleveland got the best gift that they could get with Farragut losing tonight.
Absolutely.
So Fulton was Cleveland's best friend tonight because, I'm pretty sure, again, based on what I read, that puts Cleveland officially in the playoffs, either as a 3 or the 4 seed. So we're going to wrap this thing up for tonight. For Andy Jenkins, this is Greg Phillips. Thank you to the smartest man in the world tonight for keeping us on the air, and the hardest working man in radio. Both.
Boom.
Dwayne Williams might argue with the hardest working man in radio. Austin will too. You think Austin would argue about anything, though, right?
Austin would have my vote. That guy.
Austin.
that man, he's always here. I think he's got a cot in the back.
Yeah, I keep looking over my shoulder waiting on Austin to come in and hit me in the back of the head or something. But anyway, for Ryan Felton, Andy Jenkins, this is Greg Phillips. Good night and God bless from Hardee's Friday Night Blitz.